Are you looking for a travel trailer with lots of room inside? Well, lots of manufacturers are getting rid of the Dinettes, and in place, they've used bar tops. So stick around, folks. We found some amazing travel trailers with bar top Dinettes. Hey everybody, Mike from RVBlogger here in front of the camera, and Susan's behind the camera. And if you've seen us before on YouTube, welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time seeing us, welcome aboard. Susan and I travel all around the country visiting RV shows and dealerships so we can shoot our reviews and bring them right to you in the comfort of your new home. And we'd love to extend the invitation to you to join our amazing Facebook group called RV Camping for Newbies. Inside there, you'll meet all kinds of RVers. You'll find great destinations to go camping, recipes, problem solving, anything you need. You can get a great answer inside the Facebook group. So check out RV Camping for Newbies on Facebook. We'd love to see you in the group. But without any further ado, let's get started on our review of awesome travel trailers with bar top Dinettes. This travel trailer is the Coachman Clipper Cadet, model number 14R. It has an MSRP of $20,971, but you should never pay MSRP. The UVW is 2,469 pounds. The cargo carry capacity is 1,281 pounds for an overall gross vehicle weight rating of 3,750. The hitch weight is 250 pounds. The length is 16 feet 6 inches, and it can sleep up to 2 people. Gray tank capacity is 27 gallons. Black tank is also 27 gallons, and the freshwater tank also holds 27 gallons. When you first walk into this travel trailer, on the left-hand side, you have a nice little coat closet there. Then the bathroom is straight ahead, and then we wrap on into the kitchen and dining area. And towards the front of this travel trailer, it's your dinette, your living area, and also your bedroom. Now, our first impression when we walked into this travel trailer is, although it's pretty small, I mean, for under $10,000, you really get a lot for your money. The trailer lays out really well. I love the fact that it's got this bar top here, so you can sit on your stools and look outside. And we'll talk about that and why that's so important a little bit later on in the video, but you'll see what I mean in just a few minutes. But also, there are no slide outs in this trailer, and so if you're a newer RVer and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna buy my first RV, it's under 10 grand, it's perfect, I'll try it out. I agree. I think it's a perfect beginner's camper, and so since there's no slide out on here, that makes it even easier for a beginning camper to use, because you don't have to fool around with maintaining your slides or worrying about servicing them and all those issues that may come up. But first of all, when you first walk in on the left-hand side here, this is where all of your controls are mounted, and then you have this little setup here, which is a coat closet on one side. There's no coat hooks or anything in here, but heck, you can buy a couple of coat hooks at Home Depot, screw them into the wall, and you can hang up some jackets and stuff in here. On the other side, there's just some open storage with some fixed shelves in place. And then below that, perfect place to kick off your shoes and store them underneath of here. So far, we're off to a great start. Now, the first thing you'll notice is this little countertop area with a couple of bar stools here. And so more and more travel trailers are starting to go without dinettes. Now, this trailer has a dinette, but it also has this bar top area. And I'll show you the reason for that in just a minute. But you could sit here, enjoy a meal, look outside, and enjoy the camp side of your trailer. So this is where your picnic table and your fire ring and all that stuff goes. Now, the only negative to it is that the door does swing out and in front of the window, and so that might block your view a little bit, or you might just have to close the door while you're in here enjoying a meal. There's also an outlet right above the countertop here, which is fantastic, because if you're using this as a workstation, then you can plug in your computer or whatever you need to do, and there you go. Now, down below here, there's also this nice bookshelf style storage area. Try saying that fast even one time. Bookshelf style storage area. That's tough. Anyway, you got some storage under there as well. So here we are at the true dinette area, and the reason I mentioned that little dinette bar was so important is because if this was my trailer, if Susan and I had this trailer, I would never want to turn my dinette into a bed and then turn it back into a dinette, and then turn it back into a bed the next day, and then turn it back into the dinette. I would just leave it set up as the bed, and I would use this as my dinette all the time. That's just me. If you bought this trailer, you could do it both ways. You could set it up and take it down and decide how you wanted to do it. But I'm lazy, so that's how we would do it. Now the dinette area here is very basic. It just has an open shelf above, so you can throw some things up there and store them away. There's also a light underneath of that shelf, which is great. So at least you can light up if you're here either eating or you need a reading light while you're sleeping. On the far end over here, there is an outlet and also a USB and C ports. And then we also have a cable location over here on this side of the window. And this is where your TV would get mounted. And that way, if you're laying in bed at night, you can lay here and see the TV very easily. Now, if you convert this into the bed, you would just drop the table down, use the seat cushions to fill everything in, and end up with your bed here. And your width of your bed is going to be the entire width of the trailer. And my tape measure is not cooperating. So this would be, I'll call it 80 inches, and then the depth on that is going to be, we'll call it 50 inches. So, you know, a couple adults would be able to sleep here very, very comfortably. You might be a little bit tight, but not too bad at all. And then, of course, you've got some storage underneath of this one dinette booth. There's no storage under the other one because you have some other mechanical things located under there. But all in all, I would probably just leave this a bed all the time and then use that for my dinette space. Now, as we wrap on around to the kitchen area here, this is an inline kitchen setup. Everything's in a line. It's just the most efficient use of space for all the different kitchen setups. Over top here, we have a very large cabinet, and under that, of course, you've got your hood and your fan with your light on it. They do have a 2-burner propane stove, and it does go front to back instead of side to side. And then they did a round single bowl sink in here. That's a decent size. I mean, you'll be able to wash your dishes, no problem. And then, of course, this sink swivels. The sink faucet does swivel back and forth a little bit. This is brand new, and the unit is winterized. That's why it's got the plastic bag on here with the antifreeze in it. That's pretty typical when they ship them out from Elkhart, Indiana. Now, underneath of your kitchen sink, you've got some storage under here, and there's even more storage underneath of the cooktop. Now, the refrigerator in here and freezer are a very, very good size. I mean, that's a huge freezer and fridge for a camper that's this small. But they went ahead and put a really great size one in there, so you are good to go for the whole weekend. You can throw a bag of ice up in there in your freezer there, and you still have room for even more stuff. So all in all, I really like the fridge and freezer setup. Now, there is one thing that you are sacrificing in this kitchen. Do you know what it is yet? What could it be? Well, there's no microwave in here or a microwave with a convection oven built into it. So if you really needed to have a microwave oven while you're out camping, you could always bring a countertop microwave. They're pretty inexpensive to buy. Throw that in here and set it up to use, and you know, you're good to go. Personally, I would rather have the big freezer and refrigerator instead of what a lot of travel trailers do, where they would just put a smaller size fridge in here, and then it's got one of those little ice tray things at the top for the freezer section. There's no real freezer, and then they would put a microwave up here. But personally, I can live without the microwave. I prefer to have the much bigger freezer and refrigerator. Now, here we are in the bathroom all the way in the back of the camper, and it's not a bad sized bathroom for a small camper like this. Now, it's got no frills. I mean, it's very, very basic, and we'll talk about all that stuff, but there's no storage cabinets in here. You know, they don't even have a shower surround on the walls. They're just using the trailer walls in here, and they've got the corners caulked in and everything to make sure it doesn't leak. So you can either do the same thing, make sure all these caulk joints stay nice and tight. If they break at all, then you have to recaulk them, or you could buy a shower surround and install one yourself in here. It's really not that hard to do. You can pick them up from Home Depot or Lowe's and install it yourself. Once you're inside the shower though, you've got a shower wand that you can use. There's no shelves or anything in here for soap or shampoo. We actually use a really great soap dispenser. It mounts right to the wall, and we keep ours up real high, and it's got 4 sections in it for soaps and shampoos. It's just great. It's out of the way, and it saves us a lot of space. We have one at home, and we also have one in our Class A RV. So if you're interested in checking that out, I'll put a link in the description down below so you can check out what we use. Let's get some measurements in here. Now, head height wise, you know, I'm 5'11", I'm pretty close to the ceiling, and they don't really have a skylight in this, but they do have a vent opening. There's no fan in here. It's just a little lid that opens, and it does allow air to come in and out. So you've got about 6 feet, I'll say 3 inches of head height in there. Outside of the shower, you're looking at 6 feet even. And for the entire RV, the head room is about 6 feet 6 inches tall. So you're gonna have to probably squat down a little bit in here or crouch down a little bit in here if you're a taller guy. As far as the length and width go, or the depth, we're talking 24 inches deep and 36 inches wide. So, you know, actually a decent sized shower for a really inexpensive small trailer like this. Now it comes with a shower curtain. You guys know I don't like shower curtains, but again, at this price point, that's probably what you're going to get. But you could always buy a retractable shower door for a couple $100, and you could put it in here by yourself. It's very easy to do. Just get it all caulked in once you're installed, and you're good to go. I'll put a link to one in the notes down below if you're interested in checking one of those out as well. Now, as far as storage and things go, there's really nothing in here. So I might add maybe a medicine cabinet on the wall behind the commode or something, just so I can put my personal items in there. I'd probably install a couple of towel racks on this wall so I can hang my towels. But other than that, it's really very basic. Now, when I'm sitting on the commode here, I do have to admit it is a very tight fit. With the door closed, I actually kind of have to scooch myself over a little bit because my knee is just hitting the door here. But for a very small bathroom, I'm not going to pass the elbow test on my right, but on my left-hand side, I've got plenty of room. Now here we are outside of this RV, and there is a small storage access door towards the front of the trailer, and we saw the full storage space inside when I lifted up the bed there, and you can access it from that side of the RV as well, or inside the RV. So you do get a nice little storage spot, and it is on the camp side, so when you're pulling your gear out, it makes it more convenient. This travel trailer is the Keystone Springdale model number 1710MB. It's got an MSRP of $25,908. The UVW is 3,408 pounds. The cargo carry capacity is 982 pounds for an overall gross vehicle weight rating of 4,390 pounds. The hitch weight is 390 pounds. It measures in at 20 feet, 11 inches long, and it can sleep 2 people. The gray tank capacity is 30 gallons, so is the black tank, and the freshwater capacity is 21 gallons. When you first walk into this travel trailer, on the right-hand side is where your sofa and bed are located. Then we wrap on around through the kitchen and dinette area, and behind me here is where the bathroom is located. Now, our first impression when we walked into this travel trailer is that it feels nice and roomy in here. Even though there are no slide outs in here at all, you have a good amount of floor space. And just looking around real quick, there's some unique features in here that would work for certain people that are looking for a travel trailer. Like this will be a great couples camper, right? Because 2 people can sleep in here. There's nowhere else for anyone else to sleep. It's also a good beginning camper for somebody that's brand new to RVing because it's small, it's lightweight, there's no slides to deal with. So it's got a lot of good things going for it, but it's also got some really neat features that we're going to talk about as we work our way through the video. But starting on the right-hand side here, this is where your sofa and Murphy bed are all set up in here. Now the sofa area is just this nice little couch right here, and this little middle section sort of pops on out. I'm grabbing the wrong part. I'm grabbing the whole sofa back, but it's got a couple of small cup holders in here for you as well. Or you can just leave that in the up position and enjoy it as a couch. It's in a great position because the TV mounts straight ahead, and we'll take a look at that as we get further into the tour, but it's in the perfect position for that. Now, it doesn't recline. There are no recliners that come out or any of that sort of stuff, but That's because this sofa actually has to sort of transform when you go to make this into a bed, which I'll show you that in just a second too. But you've got all this cabinet space built in around here. And then on each end, you've got a wardrobe cabinet that has a bar at the top so you can hang your garments in there. This top section is open. And if you just put a piece of cargo netting in here, or maybe even a couple of bungee cord type straps across here, it will hold your things in place while you're rolling down the road. And then we take a look at this bed. Let's check this out. So you pull the back of the sofa forward, and then it's got these little legs underneath. And these babies just pop right up and into place. This one is not popping back out. There we go. And then that folds and rolls down, and then you just pull your mattress out. Now this mattress is really unusual because it's got like two folds in it, one here and one here, so that you can make a square, you know, make the mattress fold away so it's kind of out of your way while you're driving down the road and the sofa's in position. But so I'm not really sure how comfortable this would be sleeping on it. I know when I lay on here, and I gotta say the comfort rating on this is just kind of I got this line across my back, which is not comfortable. The line down here below my knees really isn't affecting me much at all, but the break in the mattress up here under my back just does not work. So let's get a quick measurement on this bed and see what we're dealing with here. The mattress size on here is about 78 inches long, so that's great. It's nice and long. And the width on it is 60 inches. So this is a good size mattress in here. A residential queen size would be 60 inches by 80. This is 60 inches by 78. So pretty darn close. Plus you have room at the end of the bed for your feet to hang over if you need to or if you like that. Now on each side of the bed there is an outlet available, and on the other side over there there are also a couple of USB ports that are available as well. There are no like reading lights or anything under here or night lights that are available. And so if it was my RV or our RV, we would just buy a couple of puck lights and mount them under here ourselves, and you can just turn them on and off right at the location. I'd also probably mount one underneath of each of the cabinets so that it shines down onto the end table, and then you have that area well lit up as well. It's a few dollars to buy them on Amazon. We have them in our RV, and I'll show you some other places in our rig where we use them in this tour as well. On the nightstands, there is a drawer in each of the nightstands that pulls out, and then below that, it's open underneath so you can kick your shoes under there and store them away. Now, even though I don't find this to be the most comfortable mattress in the world, there is a good solution to it. And it's not to go buy another trifold mattress. It's to probably replace this with an air mattress. And we do that quite a bit in our Class A RV. When the grandkids come, we throw an air mattress on the floor. They love it. They'll sleep on there. I've slept on there. Susan slept on there with them too. And so I would either inflate an air mattress and put it on top of the one that's here, or just get rid of this mattress altogether and only use an air mattress. Now I know it's a bit of a hassle to have to blow it up every night, but at least you'll be more comfortable while you're sleeping. Now just past the sofa and the bed area, we start to move into the kitchen. But before we do that, I want to show you the air conditioner location here. This is actually a wall-mounted air conditioner. And so instead of having one on the roof that costs around $1,200 or $1,300 to install, this camper is much more value oriented, and so they went with a wall mount air conditioner in here. These are just a couple $100. The good news with it is, if your air conditioner ever fails for some reason or breaks, it's pretty inexpensive to just go buy another wall-mounted unit and put it in place. And it'll do a perfectly fine job of cooling a trailer this size, no problem at all. So it's a great feature to have, I think, especially for a beginner camper or somebody that's not looking to spend a lot of money on a camper. It's a great compromise, and it'll do the job for you 100%. Now, right below that, we have an emergency window here. These emergency windows, they're operational too when they have this little tab that sticks across them, like this little red tab here. So you can push the window out, and it'll hold in position for you, and at least you can get a nice cross breeze between here and the doorway. So that's a very nice feature in here as well. Now, starting up top, I know we're missing a cabinet door here. The dealer This is a brand new unit, but even though it's brand new, the dealer noticed that this cabinet door was broken, so they removed it, and they know they have to replace it. But otherwise, it would just have 2 cabinet doors, just like this here. And as you can see, this is a really large storage cabinet up here. Susan and I use clear plastic bins for storing almost all of our items in cabinets. Keeps them from moving all around, and it also keeps our stuff organized. And we can see through the clear totes, so we can grab what we want the first time. Below that, we've got a kitchen sink in here. It's a little bit small in my opinion. It's not very deep. I wish it was a little bit bigger, but it does have a gooseneck faucet overhead here, so you'll be able to wash your dishes in there. And then we have a propane burner stove here, and they actually did put the burners front to back instead of side to side, which does give you a little bit more countertop space as well. Down below that, we've got a couple of drawers here for all of your kitchen utensils. And then there's even more storage, and plenty of it, underneath of the kitchen sink. And then to round out the kitchen area, we have a nice big storage area up top here. It goes all the way back, so it's about 2 feet deep up here. And then you've got your microwave oven, and then your refrigerator here. It's got a little spot up top for some ice trays. That would not be enough ice for us for the weekend. We like to drink some cocktails, and we like ice in our drinks and stuff. So I would recommend in a small trailer like this, just go ahead and get a countertop ice maker. We used to have one, and it was fantastic. It would keep us full of ice all weekend long. I actually wrote an article about the 5 best countertop ice makers, and we'll throw a link in the show notes below if you're interested in checking that out, so you can get one for your RV. Next to that, though, we have a really nice big pantry cabinet here. Now, you could use this for pantry or anything else you want to store in here as well. But I will say this, the doors open and they hit this knob right here. And there's a couple of doors throughout every camper that sort of bump into things. And what we've noticed is in some of the Brinkleys that we've looked at, they put little clear cabinet bumps on things to make sure they don't bump into each other. So like on your cabinet doors here, you know, this one's going to hit this cabinet. So you could get one of those round, clear plastic bumps and just stick them right here on the side of this cabinet. And then when the door opens, you don't have to worry about denting or scratching any of your wood surfaces. You could put, you know, something on the back of this door, so if it hits the doorknob, it won't, you know, the doorknob won't dent the wood door and things like that. So it's a nice little tip to have available for your RV. It just makes life more convenient and keeps your RV in better shape. Another really quick tip is in your pantry cabinet, you can install the puck lights in here as well, just like we mentioned over top of the bed, because in your pantry, especially at night, it'll be dark in here and it's kind of deep to go back into your pantry. And so you could do a couple of puck lights that mount up here that are motion sensor activated, and anytime you open the door or reach in to get something, your lights will come on. We use puck lights in our pantry in our Class A. It just makes life a little easier. Now, the biggest feature in this particular travel trailer is this enormous amount of countertop space in here. You don't see a lot of countertop space in many RVs anymore, but what they did is they got rid of the dinette in here, and instead of having a dinette, they put this big countertop in, which I really love. It comes with a couple of stools, and it's got this gigantic window overhead. So you can sit here, enjoy a meal, look out onto the campsite of your campsite, so you can see your fire ring and picnic table and all that stuff right outside. So it'll be a nice view for you. And with all this countertop space, I mean, you could set up your coffee maker and toaster or blender over here, or your ice making machine if you need that. You have plenty of room for all that. But if you even need more countertop space, check this out. It's got this cool extra countertop space right here. Now, this countertop can come out this direction, or you can move it around to anywhere you would prefer. Like, you might not want it right here because it sort of blocks the bathroom door from opening. No problem. Not a problem. You just slide it right on down. Get your stools out of the way. Slide it right on down, and you could put it on this end if you prefer, and move your stools over here. And now you can sit here and enjoy a meal, and you've got all this extra countertop space. So, man, kudos to these guys for doing a very good job with the design. Now, all this is using your imagination, and you can buy all these parts and pieces right off of any good cabinet retailer's website. It's just parts and pieces that are used to make kitchens in residential homes. And then they have expanded that design for RVs. So it's really just the hardware that makes this work so well, and they've done a really great job with it. Now underneath of here as well, I'll slide this back out of the way, but there's another storage area under here as well. So it's got a couple of open shelves and then even an open top here. So you can store things under here as well. And I think they're just trying to really just make the most of every inch of storage space that they can in here. Now, next to your countertop space, you've got an outlet on each end of the counter, which is tremendous. So you can put anything on here that you want and plug it in. You've also got a couple of USB ports here as well. So if you're here and you need to charge in your phone, or you're working on your computer and you need to plug it in to recharge it, everything is right here for that. As I mentioned earlier in the video, this is where your TV mounts on the wall as well. And it is in perfect position to be able to watch TV from the couch or while you're laying in bed at night. But also if you're sitting here at your dinette table, and you want to have a little TV on, maybe catch up on the news or whatever, you can be sitting here eating a meal and your TV's right here. So it really works in this camper. It's in a very good location. Now here we are all the way in the back of this trailer, and we're in the bathroom, and I'm standing in the shower like I usually do, but this this bathroom runs from side to side all the way in the back here. So it feels really big. It's a big bathroom back here. So let's get some measurements and see what we're working with. First of all, your height measurement in here is going to be up into the skylight. We've got 6 feet 4 inches of headroom. The headroom throughout the entire camper is about 6 feet 6 inches. So, between the bed being almost 80 inches long and then the good ceiling heights in here, this would be a good camper maybe for some of you taller folks as well. Now, the other dimensions in the shower are, this is about, I call it 23 inches deep. And then the width on here is 36 inches wide. So decent sized shower. It's not huge, but it's certainly adequate. And if you were in here taking a shower, I'm 5'11", I weigh about 190. So if you're close to my size, this is what you would look like in here. Not a lot of room side to side. I have to say it's a little tight, but that's okay. I mean, that's pretty normal for a camper shower. It's got a little detachable wand here. They've got some soap, they've got some shelves in each of the corners for your soap and shampoo. And then this camper would come with a shower curtain. Again, it's a lower priced camper. It's not going to have, glass doors and all that stuff in here. But you can always buy a retractable shower door and add that yourself in here. It's a piece of cake to install. You can buy them online, a couple $100. I'll put a link in the notes down below if you're looking for one. And that's easy to install. Then you don't have to deal with a curtain blowing in and out on you, or worrying about the curtain not staying in the shower and going over the edge and then water dripping out on the floor. So the retractable shower doors, in my opinion, are a really nice feature. Now Susan's standing in the shower and I'm on the other side of the bathroom, so you can get a good feel for how big this bathroom is. Now starting up here on the top, they do have just a mirror screwed in on the wall. I would probably take this out and I would buy a medicine cabinet at Home Depot or Lowe's and just install that here instead. Then you can put away all of your personal items inside your medicine cabinet. Of course, it would have a mirror door so you can see yourself while you're getting ready in the morning. We have a really nice big countertop area here around your vanity sink. Lots of room. You also have an electrical outlet here so you can plug in a blow dryer or anything else that you might need. And then down below your sink, there's actually plenty of storage under there. Now there's not many towel bars or any of that stuff in here. There's just one little towel hook, but you can buy, the 3M towel bars that just sort of get glued to the wall. Or we have a really great towel rack in our rig that's very space saving, and that could mount on the wall here or over here, and it sort of opens up off the wall, and so we can hang our sets of towels and washcloths, and we can hang them out to air dry when we need them to, or we can fold it in along the wall to save space when we need to. So I'll stick a link for that in the notes below if you're interested in that stuff. But that's the kind of stuff that we recommend you do when you buy your camper. Just do some little things to make it more convenient for yourself. Now here I am sitting on the throne inside of this camper, and as you can see, we've got plenty of room side to side. Even with the door shut, in here. I still have plenty of room. And of course, we're going to pass the elbow test with flying colors. Now here we are outside of this camper, and all the way at the front, underneath of half of the bed that's in here, there's a nice big storage area underneath. It goes all the way through, and the door opens on the other side also, so you have a nice big pass-through storage area. This travel trailer is the Grand Design Imagine AIM, which stands for Adventure in Motion, model number 14MS. It has an unloaded vehicle weight of 3,920 pounds, a cargo carry capacity of 680 pounds for an overall gross vehicle weight rating of 4,600 pounds. The hitch weight is 480 pounds. It measures in at 19 feet, 11 inches long, and it can sleep up to 2 people. The gray tank capacity is 45 gallons, the black tank is 37 gallons, and the freshwater tank capacity is 37 gallons. When you first walk in this RV, on your left-hand side is where the rear bath is located. Then we wrap on around through the living, dining, and kitchen areas. Now, our first thought when we walked into this camper was, you know, for a small little camper, there's really a lot of space inside. It feels very spacious in here, and that's because there is a big slide out here on my right-hand side, your left, which is where the Murphy bed and sofa are located. So that slides out and it creates a lot more floor space in here. And you'll also notice there's no dinette. And so that creates a lot of space inside of this camper as well. But let's get started kind of running through the features. And I'll start here on my left-hand side, your right. Now you'll notice up top here, we've got a nice TV, which is in a great location for this camper. As you can see, it's right above your eating area and it's directly across from the sofa and the bed. So it's in the perfect spot here. Then we have this really nice large window over top of the countertop space, lets in a lot of air and light. And then this is a really unusual and new design that we really like about the dinette in here. So instead of having a dinette, they just have like a breakfast bar setup. And so you can sit on your stool. I don't really think 3 people could fit here. Maybe you could get like 1 on the end and then maybe 2 more people kind of like this, but really it's kind of set up for 2 people. But the nice thing with it is that the window is on the camp side of your trailer. So when you're sitting here eating, you'll be looking outside at your fire ring, picnic table, all that nice stuff, instead of looking at your sewer hoses on the other side of your camper. Now down below the countertop here, there's a lot of open storage underneath, so you can stow away some of your storage items under there as well. In addition to that, there's an outlet here on the left-hand side. And so if you're sitting here working at your countertop, maybe you're doing some trip planning for another, you know, when you're heading down the road, you need to plug in your computer or plug in some phones, you do have a receptacle right here. It'll also help you out if you've got some blenders going or some other kitchen appliances. It's just another place to plug in and take advantage of the countertop space. Just beyond where the breakfast bar is located is this U-shaped kitchen in here. Now, a U-shaped kitchen is pretty unusual, especially a front kitchen in a small travel trailer. So this, again, really offers a really neat design perspective for a very small camper. Now, a U-shaped kitchen is very unique because it gives you a ton of countertop space. And you can see I've got countertop space on my left, countertop space behind me, and countertop space on my right. So that's the big advantage of a U-shaped kitchen. And also everything's very accessible. You stand in the middle and everything's easily reachable from wherever you're standing. Now up top here, we've got a really large storage cabinet. There's no shelf built in here or anything. Some folks think that's a disadvantage, but other folks really like it because you can put in your own shelf at whatever dimensions you like. You can put in adjustable shelving so you can change it on a whim, or you can use like clear plastic bins for your storage up here, and that way you can see what's in the bins, but it keeps all your stuff from sliding around the cabinets while you're traveling down the road. Just next to that, due to the front of this RV kind of coming back at an angle, they have an odd-shaped cabinet space here. And so rather than build an odd-shaped cabinet, they just made it open storage so you can store some things in this open spot as well. Down below here, we have your range hood with a light and a fan. And then below that, we have a 2-burner stove, which really gives you plenty of room, but they could have even put a bigger stove in here because they have so much countertop space. But nonetheless, you got 2 burners in here, which is plenty of space for sure. Now down below that, we have a convection microwave oven. And so you can either microwave or bake things. So if you have a pizza or cookies or things like that you'd like to bake, you can certainly do that. Right next to your convection microwave, you have this pretty large size cabinet door, but there are 3 drawers in here, and this is where your drawers are located for all of your kitchen utensils. Now, as we wrap on around through the kitchen, up top here, we have even more storage overhead. Now, one thing to note, you know, in a smaller camper and in a U-shaped or an L-shaped kitchen, if you have corners of cabinetry, you're going to run into this every now and then. It's not a big deal, but you just need to know about it. But you can't open both of these at the same time. You can open this one first and then this one, but these doors could kind of hit each other in these corners. So just keep an eye out for that in your camper so you don't scratch your doors up. Now, you'll notice behind me here, we have this really nice backsplash that's built in here. Susan called it more of an accent wall because it's really so big and it is just on the one wall here. It really doesn't wrap around to the sides, but it does give you a nice aesthetic feel in here, a little more upscale feeling, and it just looks really good. Right behind me here also is the kitchen sink. Now this comes with a nice gooseneck faucet overhead. It also has an integral sprayer here, so it makes it easier to wash your dishes. And then this is just your sink cover, which also acts as a dish drain. And you can just roll that right out of the way. And there you go. You have a nice big rectangular single bowl sink in your kitchen. A couple of other nice features to point out on this area of the countertop are that there is a window on each side of the countertop up front here, so you can open them up on each side and get a nice cross breeze through here. Or if you burn dinner, then it could help get rid of some of the smoke that might be in your camper too. There's also a receptacle on each end so you can plug in all of your appliances, coffee maker, toaster, blenders, whatever you need. And there's also a charge port here for your cell phone on the countertop too. Now down below your kitchen sink, on the right hand side, you have a cabinet here with plenty of storage in there. Underneath your kitchen sink, there's also plenty of storage under there, and there's another storage cabinet on the left hand side of the sink. On the final leg of the U-shaped kitchen, we have some more open storage, just like we had on the other side. There's also a cabinet here above your refrigerator for more storage up here. And then the fridge itself is a great size fridge for a very small camper like this. There's plenty of space in here for a long weekend getaway. This is also a 12-volt refrigerator, so it will run on your battery, or it will run from your shore power, and it automatically switches over from one to the other, so you really don't have to do anything with it. There is also a solar panel on this rig that comes on the roof, and that will charge the battery that runs your refrigerator while you're driving on down the road. Down below the fridge, there's also a separate freezer here. This is a pull-out drawer type freezer, but there's plenty of room in here for ice and some of your frozen items as well. So just past the refrigerator in the kitchen area is where this multifunctional sofa and Murphy bed are located in here. Now this is really not a bad sofa at all. It's actually pretty comfy. It's in a great location because the TV is right across from it. So if you want to sit here and relax and watch some TV, you can certainly do that. There's also this middle piece pulls down. You have a couple of cup holders here. And if you're sitting here and you maybe need to charge your phone or charge your computer while you're working, there is a cabinet on the other side. I'll show you in a minute. And there's a plug over there so you can plug things in. So also underneath of your sofa, there are a couple of full extension drawers where you can get plenty more storage underneath of here, even making more use of this space. One other thing I forgot to point out real quick was right behind me here, there is a receptacle on the wall and a couple of USB ports on this side of the sofa as well. So whether you're using this as your bed or your sofa, you've got places to plug in and charge overnight or whatever you need to do. Now, to turn this into a Murphy bed, it's really very simple. You just grab the back of the sofa and it just rolls right over. Really just a piece of cake. And then there's a little clip on the side here. You just pop that up and then you can pull the bed frame down and then grab your mattress and pull that down as well. And then as you can see, we have a lot of space in here for your bed, and you have a nice big window over top as well. Now, even though this is an emergency window, you still can open it and use it for airflow in here. There's nothing wrong with that, nothing wrong with opening your emergency window, because it's got a screen, so you can open it up, use it for airflow, and the bugs won't get in on you. Now, some of you guys noticed when I pulled the mattress down, there is a fold in the mattress here. And you know, from what we've seen on these, you just have to lay on them and see if they're comfortable. I don't mind a fold being at the top third of a mattress or on the bottom third, because I'm comfortable sleeping that way. The ones that I find to be the most uncomfortable are if the fold is right in the middle and it's underneath of your hips. That's not a good way to sleep at night, and it's very uncomfortable. But with the split in this mattress being in the top third, I think you'll be in good shape and nice and comfy while you sleep. Now let's get some measurements on this mattress and see how big of a bed we're actually looking at here. So this one is about 76 inches long and 60 inches wide. So this will be considered a short RV queen size mattress in here. A residential queen size would be 80 inches long and 60 inches wide, so it's just 4 inches shorter than a residential. So for some of you taller guys, you know, you might have your feet hanging over the end of the bed. For most folks, I think this would work just fine. Now on the other side of the sofa where Susan was standing a minute ago, you have this cabinet on the side here. This is actually a wardrobe cabinet. It has a little bar at the top so you can open it up, hang your shirts in there and what have you. And then it's got some more open storage down below. Like I mentioned a little earlier, there's also a receptacle inside of this open storage area. Now, like we mentioned earlier, this Murphy bed and sofa are in a slide out. So we went outside and measured the slide out box, which is about 35 inches. So now we can come inside and measure 35 inches from the front of the sofa, because when this whole slide out moves in, so does the sofa. And so you might be wondering, hey, if I'm traveling down the road and I want to stop at a rest area and use the restroom or grab lunch, you know, can I get in here and access my bathroom and fridge? Well, if we come in 35 inches from the sofa, that's going to put us right here. So you could squeeze by your sofa and get into the bathroom, but it's going to be a tight squeeze, and you've got about 10 inches from the front of the sofa to the breakfast bar countertop to squeeze by there to get to your refrigerator. So while it is accessible, you know, it's going to be a tight fit for some folks. Now here I am in the bathroom, standing in the shower like I always do. And I got to tell you, this feels like a good sized bathroom, even though, you know, it's a small camper. But the bathroom here is located in the very back of this travel trailer, and it runs from one side of the camper to the other. So you do have a lot of space in here. Now, as far as the height inside of the shower goes, you guys know that I'm 5'11". But let's see how much room we have from the shower base up into the skylight, just to give you some perspective. And you know, you have about 6 feet 5 inches of headroom up into the skylight, and the entire camper has a head space of about 6 feet 6 inches. So it gives you a good idea. For some of you taller folks, if you're taller than 6'5" or 6'6", you know, it's going to be a tight squeeze in here. But for most folks, you should have plenty of headroom. Now, the shower in here does have a retractable shower door, which is awesome. Way better than having a shower curtain in here that's going to blow in on you while you're taking a shower and stick to the side of you and all that mess. Also behind me here, there are 3 shelves that you can use for your soap and shampoo while inside your shower. Now Susan's standing in the shower and I'm on the other side of the bathroom, and you'll notice you have a really nice cabinet and vanity set up here. Up top you have a couple of mirrored cabinet doors or medicine cabinet doors, and behind there you'll notice we have some shallow storage on the right with a shelf, and then some deeper storage on the left hand side, which is great. You know, if you need to store away some TP, toilet chemicals, maybe you want to throw some linens up here, you have room to do those things. Now down below your medicine cabinet, you have a really good size vanity with lots of countertop space, good size sink in here with a little gooseneck faucet. There is a receptacle on the right hand side, so if you need to plug in a blow dryer or shaver, you could do those things. Down below we have a little towel bar with some open storage below that. And then we have these really unusual drawers here on the right hand side. So you open it up and there's a bottom drawer, and then you can reach in and open the top drawer, and it just gives you 4 drawers of space behind what looks like 2 cabinet drawers. Now here I am sitting on the commode, and even with the door shut in here, there is plenty of room because, again, the bathroom does run from side to side in this camper, so it feels really big inside of here. And as far as the elbow test goes, we are going to pass with flying colors in this model. Another really nice feature that they've added into this camper is an outdoor griddle, which is just fantastic. You can just pull it right out. It automatically connects to the propane in your camper. It's very convenient and easy and fun to cook outside. So this is a great feature to have. And then right next to that, there's also a spray port here, as well as on the other side. So if you need to spray off some bikes or spray off your feet or something if you're at the beach, you've got the ability to do that on the camp side of your trailer, which is really nice because you want to rinse yourself off over here before you go walking in. You can do that very easily. So on the other side of this camper, which is where all your hookups will be located, this is where your storage spaces are. On my right-hand side here, we have a really large storage compartment. You can get a lot of stuff in there, chairs, grills, whatever you need. Plenty of room inside of there. It's also in the slide out. The only disadvantage to it on this side is that it's not on the camp side, but it's a pretty small camper. I mean, it's just a few steps to walk around to get to this storage spot. And then on my left-hand side, your right-hand side, there's another small storage area. Plus you have some of your controls in here, and you've also got another spot for your shower to hook up on this side of your camper. Hey guys, let us know which one of these travel trailers you like the most and why in the comments down below. And what did you think about these bar top dinettes? Pretty cool or not so much? Let us know. We'd love to hear from you and read all your comments down below. But if you'd like to check out even more travel trailers with no dinettes, just click the box down below, and Susan and I will see you in the next video.